of Residuals for Life, brought to you by IGT. Yo, I'm super excited. Today's episode, we're blessed to be sitting down with intelligent, the gifted channel manager for Net2phone, Mr. Loren Gallegos. That's right, I said it right. Loren Gallegos. You guys gonna learn a lot about Net2phone, the future of the industry, what's been going on, how he got started into the business. It's amazing. So stay tuned, and here we go. Here's a nice stinger. Oops, that didn't come on. And boom.
Three, two, one.
Yes, as promised, I'm sitting in, well, not exactly sitting in the studio, but we have a special guest today. The blessed, the intelligent, the gifted, super amazing, and actually a foodie too as well. I learned what his favorite food was. And yeah, we talked off camera, Mr. Loren Gallegos, and I hope I'm saying his last name right. But ladies and gentlemen, Net2phone channel manager, Loren Gallegos.
So fun. Good to see you.
What's up, buddy? Oh my gosh. Thank you for taking the time to jump on the Residuals for Life podcast brought to you by IGT. I know you and David Kirby have a great relationship. You've been working together for a long time, and we're blessed to just have you here for a few minutes and just kind of learn a little bit more about Net2phone. So, for the audience that don't know who you are, Lauren, please give us a brief introduction and history and how you got started in this industry.
Brief introduction to history. That's a lot, but I think I can handle that. So, Loren Gallegos, I'm a channel sales manager for Net2phone, which is the flagship product of IDT, International Discount Telecom. So I've been in telecom, if you can believe it, for about 23 years now. So
Woo! 23 years. Come on, man. I have kids that age. Long
so
time.
I haven't been around that much. I mean, as far as bouncing around, I started at the phone company in 2002, right after 9/11, and I spent about 6.5 years there, and it was a great start for me. I got to learn a lot about traditional copper lines, long distance, some of the old traditional stuff, which is really important to my background. I moved into another Seattle-based provider. They're no longer here anymore, but a company called Speakeasy, and they were revolutionizing internet and one of the pioneers in voice over IP. Spent about 5 years with Vonage, and now I've been with this company Net2phone for about 6.5 years.
Wow, man, Net2phone 6.5 years. So, I mean, with your experience and background of seeing all these changes, and I know you told me a little bit about VoIP, like the importance of voice over internet. They don't call that no more. You mentioned they call it something else now. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's correct, because voice over IP is just a component of a unified communication solution.
Hmm.
So what we're bringing to our customers is not just phone. We're giving them video conferencing. We're giving them texting. We're giving them collaboration tools. So it's a lot more than just voice.
Oh, a lot more than just voice. Yeah, absolutely. A
Yeah.
lot of people, I mean, they need communication. They do a lot of business over the internet and things like that. And it's important to stay connected. So, Net2phone, like, who is it designed? Who is the ideal, like, customer that would fit a Net2phone service?
Yeah, we scale all the way from small businesses all the way up to enterprise. So we typically have customers from 2 users all the way up to 500 users, and that's right there in a sweet spot. But depending on the solution, we do have bigger customers that scale up to 2,000 users, and there's a reason for that. We keep our solutions very, very simple. So that way, a lot of large retail chains can just add on and not have to worry about spending nickels and dimes for features. Sometimes when we get up to some of the bigger solutions, we add users at a modular rate at among the most aggressive in the industry.
Wow, Lauren, I know I mean, you deal with a lot of different, like, from enterprise level to small businesses. For let's say like small businesses that needs communication. How would they find more information or even like get connected? And how can they be for sure like it's reliable, especially when they're operating? They need this communication. Can you tell them more about that?
It's good that you asked that question, because these days cloud-based solutions are everywhere. Everyone is virtualizing some sort of system. Your systems don't need to reside on premise anymore, and they also sorry, they that means that you can work remotely. You don't have to have your talent within a 30-mile radius of your business, and that means that there's it can be confusing, right? So what we do is we cater to the channel. So we don't really sell directly. We sell through an ecosystem of technology advisor, whether it's managed service providers who provide IT, or people who manage telecom expenses for businesses. So typically, if someone were to come to me directly and say, "Hey, gosh, I would like to know more about your services," I can
Hmm.
certainly send them literature, but I would pair them up with one of our well-trained technology experts.
Right. And you guys offer solutions for pretty much any business, right? From real estate to car dealerships, people in the government, healthcare, hospitality, law offices. That's amazing. Tell us more about like some of the products that is available too. You guys have voice, messaging, and something that's super like trending right now, and you can agree with this is artificial intelligence. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, we just launched an AI product about 3 months ago,
Right.
and it's pretty revolutionary. When you start to think AI, you think, "Gosh, my business is too small for AI," but it's not.
Hmm.
We offer AI for a flat $20.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and
So
and
tell me more about that. Like, when you say you offer AI, what exactly, what type of tasks does it perform?
Well, it automatically transcribes the calls. It summarizes the calls. It sends a email with the summary, but it also provides analytics. It senses what is that? Like emotions during the call, that sort of thing, and can give you a lot more feedback. So the AI that we use, there was a statistic that was run that even though Net2phone offers call recording,
Hmm.
typically 95% of the calls are not listened to. So when you
Oh
have
wow.
AI, you can get automatic feedback, so you can get more insight into the transactions that your business is conducting, and you can also get more feedback on your employees without spending a ton of money.
Oh wow, that's awesome. So cutting costs, maximizing efficiency, being in constant communications, and I know you guys can custom tailor a solution for all of these clients too as well. And with your experience of being in the business for a long time, like what's your take on or perspective where the future is heading to with the telecom industry?
Well, I do think one thing that did change the face of communications was the lockdown.
Okay.
And that was a big boom for us, right? So we got lots of calls where we said, yeah, we everyone had to work remote. What do we
Mm-hmm.
do now? So they abandoned their premise-based systems. Years ago we'd say so many people have premise-based systems. Now more and more people already have cloud-based systems in place. So now I feel like there's going to be a lot of AI, a lot
Right.
of collaboration. I feel like there's going to be a lot more tools, so that you don't have to use manpower. You don't have to do all these things manually. Your phone system will help you increase the efficiencies of your business.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, definitely being efficient. Looking for ways to cost reduction as well, and just maximizing your time because time, like you said, time is more important than money, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now we talked, off camera, and there's a couple like myths and like misconceptions about Net2phone or even just the telecom phone industry as well. Can you like dispel some of those misconceptions about Net2phone?
Yeah. So the first misconception is that we're a small company.
Mm-hmm.
We're actually it's funny how we're built, because we're small enough to understand your business, but large enough so that we're in it for the long haul. So our parent company is actually a $2 billion company. We've got lots of development that we have in Israel. We're constantly working around the clock to to enhance our product, and that's one of the great things about cloud-based services, is because as we improve our product, our customers get the improvements too. They don't have an end of life sort of they don't have an end of life cycle
Right.
like physical based products do. So for one, we are a very large company, but when you call, we pick up in about a minute with a 95% one call resolution ratio. People think that we're very small. We're actually one of the pioneers and one of the largest providers in the industry. And then also one of the reasons why being large is very important is when you put your phone service on somebody's network, that just means you're putting it on someone else's computer, more or less, for for simplification. So when we talk about where we have an image of your phone system, we actually have it in 14 data centers around the world. Right.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we do that on purpose, just in case there's a catastrophic disaster. We've got 14 other places where we've got an image of your phone system. We also leverage 200 points of presence to bring that service closer to you, and we leverage the AWS network too. So when we talk about the way that your calls reach out through the network, we've got one of the most efficient routing platforms in the industry, which means less call quality issues like jitter, like latency, that sort of thing, because we have among the most robust networks in the industry. In fact, we are one of the premier providers, which only a very small handful of providers can claim because we've got the infrastructure to support that.
Oh wow! It sounds like the support is definitely there, and there's something I saw on the Net2phone page. Something about predictive dialers, power dialers. Is that something you can maybe unpack for me and kind of share with how that works with Net2phone, and how important is that for like businesses?
Yeah. So when you were talking about where the future of phone systems is looking,
Oh yeah, yeah.
we do have our basic solution. It's very aggressively priced, but nowadays we're finding that contact centers are where it's at, right? So
Okay.
geographically diverse contact center. So a lot of times, if you're doing an outbound contact center, those are people who are using a predictive dialer. We can support that too with our contact center solution. Or whether you just have people who are supporting your solution, they need wallboard, they need to log in and log out, and you need the sort of analytics to manage your staff, we can support that too with our contact center solution.
That sounds cool. I saw something on here too. Automating interactions, flows, and conversations with a chatbot. I love that, man. That's awesome. Just being able. I mean, I don't really like talking to the chatbot because sometimes they don't really understand my frustrations and my problems. But it does solves a lot of issues in terms of like getting out the basic problems out the way before you actually speak to a person, right? You guys have like automate your digital channels with chatbots on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram. That's amazing. Now, if I was a customer and I'm looking to get started, look into a Net2phone, of course, reaching out to one of the channel managers, reaching out to you, or what would be the route or the flow for that?
Yeah, so they can reach out directly to me. I would pair them up with a technology advisor, but more
Cool.
than likely, people are engaging their technology advisors, and they're coming to me. And one thing I do like to think of is we work with a lot of great partners, and IGT is one of them, right? So, in partnerships, really, the channel has a way of making sure that quote unquote everybody wins, right?
Yep.
So it doesn't work unless the customer has a better experience, and then of course I need to make a transaction as well, but so does a technology advisor. And IGT is among one of the best that I've worked with. So you've got David Kirby, who's been in the industry for 26 years, right?
Yes.
So normally people feel a little bit lost because who do you go with, right? There, you see the Ring Centrals, the 8x8s, the Nextivas of the world, and you think, gosh, how do I know which provider is best? So you've got David Kirby out there who's had a chance to vet them all
Mm-hmm.
and figure out which ones work best, which personnel he works best with, right? Just because you've
Right.
got a good solution, a company that's got a good solution, you also have to have a good representative as well. So David Kirby is one of the best people at um, identifying technology solutions for his partners, but also making sure that that they have the best experience, whether it's getting bills right, getting the price right, getting implementation right. Those are things that you want someone like David Kirby who knows these sort of things like the back of his hand.
Yeah, definitely. He is an expert in his field. Again, 26 years, 500 agents that he's helped give the opportunity to, and he's building his company is amazing. Now, it's working with obviously professionals like you too as well. Um, are you ready for the next segment of the show where I ask you a few fun questions, Lauren?
Of course, of
All
course.
right,
Yeah.
man. So we'll start with the easy ones first that you can answer.
Mhm.
First one is, what roles does the smartphones play in the next decade?
Oh my gosh. I feel like when we were watching Star Wars, where they had those handheld devices that did everything,
Yeah.
it's already starting to be like that. I use it, to to track my exercise, my food. I can make calls through my watch. I know where my family is at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the desk phones because they're an acoustical device that's designed for
Gotcha.
making
Yep.
calls. But I tell you what, I have a lot of businesses who just use their smartphone and they still sound like a world-class organization.
Oh wow. No, that's
Yeah.
phenomenal. Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah.
definitely could take advantage of the technology there too. And then I just ordered my new phone, and it actually comes with a built-in AI, and I'm I'm in love with it. It's just so much stuff that's built into it that you can do, and it's phenomenal. Um,
Yeah. I get my journal requests every day and I say, how did you know I was I was at the gym or
yeah.
out with my wife on the waterfront? It knows all these things.
Oh my goodness. So I see the Seattle Seahawks logo back there in your library there, but more importantly, you have a ton of books back there. What's your favorite book to read?
Oh, you know what? I'd like to say that they're nonfiction books, but I do like to read fiction, right? I think that everybody needs a little bit of a break, right?
That's
So
true.
I think the right fiction book can transport you to another world, and you have that sort of other world experience, and then you come back, and it's a way of taking that sort of mental vacation. So I read a lot of fiction books. I was
Love it.
mentioning to you earlier that
Yeah.
I have a Japanese author that I really like. He's like the Japanese version of Stephen King, and his name
Okay.
is Haruki Murakami. He's an amazing writer, very
Oh,
easy to read. I
nice.
read an I read an 1,100-page book of his, and I couldn't put it down. I think I read it in about a week.
Really? Okay. So the next, okay. What's the all right? The book you're reading right now is it? You mentioned is IQ 84.
1Q84. It's
One
a
Q 84. One Q 84, man. I thought it was
yeah.
IQ 84. That's my IQ. I don't even know if that's right. All right. So, what's the one book that every human being should read and why?
Ooh, that is a tough one. Um, mm, that is a tough one. I don't know. I think everyone's different, right? Because
Okay.
I don't want to say a religious book because I think everybody should be free to explore their
Oh, I
own
agree.
specific religions. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Um,
Well, we can come back to that one if you want.
yeah. Let's come back to
Okay.
that one.
All right. Next question. I got what after this question, I have another one for you. Who's your favorite role model and why? I know you were starting to explain this to me, but I want to hear it now.
Yeah, I think in life everyone thinks, gosh, I would really like to be like that guy who makes, billions of dollars, like Jeff Bezos or Mark Zuckerberg, or maybe they'd love to be someone who's really admired, like Michael Jordan or any other famous athlete. But I think that there's a million ways for you to be happy in life, and I
Hmm.
really think about someone like my dad. And my dad grew up poor, like poor, poor, right? And the only way he could get out of his little town was he got the highest math SAT score in a state, and he got a free scholarship to Colorado. And he got a job at Boeing, and was he made a really good life for us and made sure that all doors were open for me as far as opportunities, college, sports, friends, life experiences.
Hmm.
So I think for him, that's my Michael Jordan. That's someone who really who really overcame obstacles.
I love it, man. That's definitely a great answer. I haven't heard that in a while, and you're right. I'm glad you said that. Was it your dad that got you into wrestling?
Kind of. He didn't have it at his school, and he said, "Yeah, I think I would have made a good wrestler." And I tried it, and the first year I wasn't so good at it. But just like anything else, it's those challenges that give you that sort of grit. So I ended up getting pretty good at the wrestling,
Yeah, I
as I
saw that. I saw
progressed.
that. Yeah. Any accolades you want to share?
Oh, I won the state light heavyweight title for
What?
international style rules. Yeah, for freestyle. So that was good. And every time I think about wrestling's so scary, right? So anytime I think about things that are challenging, like college finals, or
Hmm.
getting your house ready to getting cleaned and moved out so that you can move in the right amount of time that it takes staying up all night and that extra sort of gusto to do it. I think with wrestling it really helped me to believe that if you really believe in yourself, that you can do it.
That's awesome, man. Lauren, before I let you go, any final thoughts that you want to make sure we cover before we cut out here? Because we're here at our last few minutes here, and I know we talked about Net2phone, how powerful it is, the type of business solutions that you guys can help provide using AI and automation, creating efficiency. But anything you want to make sure we cover?
No, well, I do think that there is one thing that I would like to cover. I think that, the role of being an agent is really something that is everyone who becomes successful in the agent world wishes,
Hmm.
gosh, I wish I would have done that sooner. Because how many things are better in this world than passive residual income? All you get paid for the life of the not just the contract, for as long as they keep the service, right? So
Absolutely.
and you don't have to feel like it's really scary, because not only do you have IGT backing you up with all the resources
Hmm.
and all the tools that you need to succeed, I will help you too. So for the most part, if you come to me and you say, gosh, I don't know what to do with this, just get me on a webinar with your customer. We'll take a look at their bills. We'll discuss their pain points. We'll talk about use cases that are really important to them. And then we'll present them with a solution, right? And if we're not the best fit for them, the good news is you've got IGT. They've got a few others that might be a fit for them. So I would probably say the most important thing is engage IGT
Yes.
and
Yes.
start getting that passive residual income. Make some money, retire early, right?
I love that. Thank you so much for pointing that out, because there's
Yeah.
people out there right now watching this show that like, how do I become an agent, or how do I even become a customer, and maybe cut down my costs. And this is it, you guys. You guys see the link right here. There's a QR code. Scan this QR code. Get in contact with myself, the team at IGT, even Lauren. And Lauren, I do have to lean on you for your technical knowledge and expertise, because you've been doing this for 20 years, and I've been involved with IGT for the past 2 months. But I've learned so much, because every time we have well, it doesn't happen too often, but if I have a question technical wise, like I can just pick up the phone and call you, and even we can do a web conferencing too. So yeah, absolutely. Residuals for life, you guys, brought to you by IGT. But I'm not gonna let you off the hook yet, because you haven't answered the question. What's the one book someone should read? Everyone should read.
Oh gosh. The okay. The one book that I would recommend
You want to
is, you
skip
see,
it?
I'm a Seahawks fan here. No, no, no. A book
Okay.
that I've read that I have really been inspired by. Let me see if I can find it here. Is Winning for Life by Pete Carroll. I know Pete Carroll just stopped coaching, but there are some principles there about welcoming competition and rising to the occasion and that
Ooh.
sort of thing that I really found really helpful. And funny enough, it was I was a sales manager over at Megapath, and Pete Carroll had just been hired, like just been hired, and this was probably 2012 or 2011. I forget when it was, but my initial thought about Pete Carroll is, I mean, this guy failed as a coach in the NFL. Like, he lost his job in New England, and ended up coaching USC. And he was a good college coach, but I didn't know that he'd be an incredible professional coach. So I read the book anyway. This was prior to him winning a Super Bowl. And it just, they call him Captain Sunshine, and they say a whole bunch of things. He's a player's coach and that sort of thing. And as I read more and more about his philosophy and being drawn to things that are challenging, it really inspired me to be better as a person.
I love that. It's all about personal growth and getting your life and everything into the next level, right? And
Yeah.
you have to educate yourself continuously. Be a reader because readers are leaders. And I see you read all those books, and I like that. That's like the physical representation. What's on of your head, what's in your mind right now.
Yeah.
But Loren, thank you so much. Loren Gallegos, ladies and gentlemen, Net2phone channel manager. He's awesome. He's been working with IGT for well, how long have you been working with Dave Kirby now? It seemed like a long time,
I've
right?
been, yeah. So I've been working with Dave for about 10 years now.
Jeez, wow. So you guys have really good
Yeah.
relationships, man, because he
Yeah.
speaks very highly of you. And he told me, hey, you're gonna get Lauren on the podcast, so make sure you pick his brain a little bit, tap into his wisdom. And here I am talking about wrestling, and you go into Vision Quest restaurant. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much, Lauren. I appreciate you. Um, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, Lauren, anything you want to say?
No, no, no.
No.
Just the other thing that I will say to you, always engage me, because I find this problem solving really fun. Because yes, this is sales, but this is so different. This sale is so different because you walk in, it does not cost your customer anything for you to make a sale, and you improve their technology experience, and you get paid. And again, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but passive residual income, nothing better
Yes.
than that.
I love it. Passive residual income, residuals for life, brought to you by IGT. Hit the QR code, get in contact with us, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks so much. Thanks, Lauren, for being on here.
Thanks, Safan.
See you
Always a
later.
pleasure.
3, 2,